thought you could get a
anniversaries.
job for life for being sad. I was just sad. And so, like, it just like...
I swear to God, Nate is the funniest guy in the company. Never been in here.
I've never done a show.
Really? Now's your time to shine.
Extremely.
We want the dough. We gotta let
saying-
it loose
I
on
was
it.
saying it's like Michael Scott Paper Company when he finds out that he's going bankrupt, and Pam's like, "Don't tell him that you know." He's like, "I'm not gonna say it." The elevator opens, goes, "I'm gonna say it." this could be. I mean, let's go down. We have 2 years left anyway. Let's go. I watched that
Burn this
episode.
bitch down.
I watched that episode. Barstool can survive without me. I have 2 years left on my contract. I'm negotiating. Okay. I'm just reading the script, by the way, that they gave me. I'm just reading the script.
This is all going in the show. It's all running. We got the dog.
I love that people think that everything's scripted.
It is.
Like, yeah, I'm not a piece of shit. I'm just reading the script
Dude,
again.
the fact that the world pseudo believed the Arian Foster joke with the script means if people think that professional
that's also
sports is
Can I say not
they're
pseudo?
definitely gonna
60-40 believe, not believe.
Right.
But that is also like just Twitter is
the world.
But that's
the
also the
dumbest
world
people.
now is like we're in a simulation. What are you talking about? We're in a
Yeah,
this
but,
is simulation.
I mean,
it's just.
I would argue the one thing that's left that is not is professional sports. The only thing left in the world where it's like we don't know what the outcome's going to be is professional sports where two teams get together. The rest is kind of scripted. But if people believe that sports can be scripted, then they definitely think Barstool Sports is scripted.
What about the dozens? That's scripted?
At this point,
I'm woke.
you and Frank the Tank. You guys are lined on this one.
I'm just calling it as
picks who he wants to win.
I kind of believe it.
Jeff D-Lo creates drama and entertainment. And I think
He's
at the
way
end of
too
the day,
he's too defensive about being called rigged and scripted.
if he is that is then yeah, maybe he needs to cool it. I think that we lose sight of that at Barstool. It's like, yeah, man, I don't know. Let's like rig some questions so that like
That's
the
what I
fucking
said.
match is entertaining.
That's what I said. I said,
It doesn't need to.
Jeff, you're not running a professional sport. You're
Right.
running a dozen
And we're
trivia
not giving,
competition.
the day that like the dozen has like $100,000 prize, okay,
Sure.
you can't do that.
Exactly.
But right
But
now
his-
it's for
his job-
for bragging rights at the Barstool office. Who fucking
his job's
cares?
to get views and eyeballs on his
Right.
program, and if you have to tilt a match to get Frank the Tank screaming about it for 2 weeks, guess what?
The fuck was I just gonna say actually? I forget. I just anytime anyone ever says Jeff D-Lo, it just reminds me of like it's literally one of my favorite stories of all time when we went to Pup Punk. Were you on that stream with us?
Has the story been told more times than this story?
Yeah, I told a story.
It's the best.
It's
though.
the-
I was
it's-
on that
come on.
train.
I know.
You know.
It's my
You
favorite
knew I had to be
story.
weird about this.
You knew I was gonna be worried about
Did you
this.
witness it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have witnessed
Dude,
it.
it was like like Forrest Gump on a bus. It's like hugging his backpack. And it's just like, Jeff,
You knew I was gonna be
we're
worried
going to Mulcahy's. I love
taking a half-hour train in to Long Island.
I love Jeff because he was one Ken Jack away from being fired. That day Dave was mad on radio.
I forgot about that.
If Ken Jack was like homesick, like Dave was that mad at them.
What? Why would it Ken
Dave,
Jack do?
he was like, Dave's like, they don't work.
Because it was after
Ken
Duncan
Jack
works.
wasn't home, wasn't in the office.
He goes, "You have 20 minutes to get Ken Jack in here, or you're both gone." And he was
Oh, I don't remember it was that intense.
dead serious. He was,
And Jack
as
was
far
like
as I
nowhere
could
to be found.
He was like
not.
getting lunch or something.
Right,
but if he
right.
was homesick, I don't know what would have happened.
Right.
And then Jeff is like, "I'm gonna make the dozen." Thank God for COVID for him. My God.
Yeah, that was huge. He was one of those guys who profited off the death of all the Americans. Just like so many of us.
He's a profiteer.
Another thing that
when
was
blood
scripted-
runs in the streets. Oh man, that's fucking great, dog. This is why
I'm
you're
in my
here.
woke era, dude. I think everything's fake.
No, you're not. It's like almost the opposite of woke. You're like red pill or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it's
Yeah.
called. I'm seeing the world for what it is.
Yeah. No, you see in the Matrix, bro.
Yeah. And then
realize. You know.
I hate that so much. But then like you die and then it's like, all right, I'm dead. Nothing mattered. I'm also in my.
That's why a lot more people need to.
Congrats on
remember
being rich, by the way.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome. Because I
thank
was gonna say I'm in like money doesn't matter. Like who cares?
Just
Thing.
me.
But no, now that you have all of it, like, do you feel more conscious about spending it?
Oh yeah.
Because when I had $0
Feel
to my
more
name,
so?
no,
Yeah.
this is
Yes,
when I had
totally.
$0, I didn't care about spending it because I would still have $0.
Yeah.
The more money I get, the less I want to
I
spend
remember.
it.
So when
I disagree with
when
that wholeheartedly.
I hate spending now.
When I hit,
and I'm not rich.
there was
I-
a time where I like legit hit $0 during the divorce, and not like pretty much $0. I had to like borrow money and shit, but I was like. I wasn't like, oh, I can't order DoorDash tonight because I was like, what's the difference if I have $400 or $380?
Yep,
That's
whatever.
I believe that's literally a storyline in Veep when Matt Walsh's character is
Not good. When you're
is
living
so
out the real life Veep, not good.
is so in debt. He buys a new car. He's like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
like,
matter.
What matters?
But it
How does
doesn't matter.
How does it affect me?
It doesn't. But
I
now,
think-
so I'm still working through this, and I don't quite understand it or believe it, but I'm being told I got half my money in cash, half my money in stock, but this next tax season, I got to pay for all of it.
Oh, really?
And that's a month. And I was like, what?
They're keeping you humble.
And then I'm starting to do the math, and I'm like, well, tax is like 30-40%, and I only got 50% of it in cash, so I'm only going to be left
You know what, that
with
makes
this chunk.
sense.
But that chunk is more money than I ever imagined.
Yeah.
But I all of a sudden just shifted my mindset.
So you can sell
now I'm like, wait a
stock,
minute, I'm only
though.
going to have XYZ left, and I'm like, but yeah, and it will be okay.
I get it.
But the
I get
point
why.
being that I was
So
like, oh my God.
that makes sense. Why people, when this happens, they sell a chunk of stock immediately. It's to pay those taxes on what they got. That makes sense.
The
I mean, Sleepy
there's
Joe's
also-
trying to take all the money from us anyway. You see that shit?
I will say this.
I see one tweet about Sleepy Joe raising taxes. I'm like, bring back 44.
Yo, everybody who is hardcore liberal is broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as you get some money, you're like, well, wait a minute.
I see Jack
wait a
Mack like,
minute.
oh, he sent some bad tweets. I'm like, you know what? You have a point.
The old, what is it, like, everybody's born liberal and dies conservative or whatever. It's like, yeah, as soon as you have some money and they're talking about hitting you with, like, everyone's like, tax the rich. It's like, tax the fucking mega rich. The people who just need a little bit of money.
And the higher up you go tax those guys.
You always think
And then you can become Bezos, you go, tax the Catholic Church.
it's hard. Like,
There's nobody left.
to
Just
get-
the Pope going, all right, I'll
Yeah. Like, it's hard to hold on to money. And when I look at, not to get like super real, like single mothers and shit like that, I'm like, how do we make good salaries
not
here,
understand it.
and I don't get how anybody has money.
I have me and my kids like two very solid incomes. Now, granted, we live in a very expensive suburb. We have like the best care. Like, there's a million ways we could cut back. That being said, we're not living like lavish by any means. And I'm looking around at the other families that I'm like, you don't work for a fucking media conglomerate. You're a nurse. You're a this. Like, how are you guys doing? And they have like 4 kids, 5 kids.
Life is so expensive.
But I think because people are just like, I don't know, I have dad. I don't care. It's like,
Well, but that's not mine. Mine isn't because like I'll die, which I will.
Sick.
It is sooner rather than later. It's the phrase we all grew up on is like, money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, it does. It literally does.
they just decide to make more.
It is. But no, I mean like my money grows on a tree. And every 2 weeks, that is ready for fucking for raking down.
Well, it's about
and
how big is your tree.
Some trees are bigger than others,
Right.
But everyone literally has a money tree,
Right.
So you can spend all of it, and guess what? In 2 weeks, it's time to harvest.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's true.
You better not lose your goddamn job.
Now your
But-
harvest also can fucking suck, you know?
Yeah.
What do you think about minimum wage, Nate?
should be higher.
Higher? You think that like McDonald's workers should be able to have a full life?
Yeah, no, like,
See, because I don't believe. I
do.
I think I'm an
Not
old, crotchety white man on that one. Like, I kind of think some of those jobs are designed for like high school kids to like make an
disagree
extra
because
buck.
not everybody is as fortunate as you and I that they
True.
get good education. So okay, my
now
sister.
you're making me look like
so
an asshole.
no. I'll tell you a story. My sister was an inner city Baltimore school teacher, and the story she told like makes you like sit back and be like,
Yeah,
whoa,
holy shit,
coming
yeah.
like living in a house with multiple generations. Like 10 people living in an inner city Baltimore
Sure,
house,
sure.
coming to school smelling like smoke, haven't eaten in multiple days.
Yeah.
That's McDonald's would be a lifesaver for these
Right,
kids,
right.
and if you can help your family and grandparents and aunts and uncles like provide, you need more than $8 an hour. And McDonald's is making trillions or whatever.
That
the
is true.
fuck
That's a
they
good point
make.
too. Is like I so maybe not the fast food is not the good example because those guys have. Bang.
I think
but I do think there are certain jobs that it's like
every
job.
If
you want to like have a whole life, like not every job is a career. Is basically.
I disagree. Every job should be able to be a career.
Interesting.
Because some people just you're not educated enough to work in an office.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But
dumb people don't get to.
We overpay everybody. It's insane. I knew. I mean, I know what is happening here.
This episode is LeBron and Wade.
So that's so funny. When I got hired, by the way, this is year 10. Me and Willie C, both year 10.
Year 10, right?
When Erica gave out.
Will Compton,
year 10.
Oh.
Neither of us worked year 10.
Willie C before. I thought Willie Cologne, to be honest.
You missed that.
Wait, you said neither of us are worth year 10.
Oh, I said neither of us worked year 10.
Yeah.
No, I work sometimes. But when I got hired, this is 10 years ago, it was $45,000 a year, and I didn't make what the current starting salary for content is until after the Caps won the Stanley Cup in 2018. And Dave was like, that's when I got a contract. So I got hired in 2013. I got my first contract 2018.
I don't think that is that crazy. Like, I think a lot of people are going to be what do they call at-will employees or whatever. It's like year to year.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ever think I would be on a contract. They're like mini like pro sports contracts.
Yeah,
like, I got an extension for 3 years. I got an extension for 4 years. Like I just
get your Instagram carousel ready.
Got to post about my anniversary. Today is the 19-month anniversary of my time at Barstool Sports.
Dude, that's the
19 months
that's
ago,
the
my
Mincy
life
special.
changed.
Every month he goes like, today is my 19th month anniversary, and you feel like happy for him. So it's like, I guess we're posting the 19th month anniversary blog. Mincy's the best.
Some people love their anniversaries. Some people love their anniversaries for sure. So you got, I think earning the contract is a pretty exclusive thing. I'm happy that there's
I think about this a lot. So the Caps won the Stanley Cup June 2018, and I went to games 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I didn't go to game 5 because I was like, when they win the cup, I'm blogger mentality.
They won in 5 games. It was like
in Vegas, and I would have been able to celebrate with the cup, party with the cup, all that. PFT did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I would have been able to do that, but I was like, Barstool, like you have to blog, blah blah. Which I feel good about. Like that's what our generation, like you live for your team
that moment.
to do that. Yeah. And I
almost want like, I don't know,
But I think
like, I don't think I want to party with the team.
It's I like once in a lifetime type opportunities.
I know, but to me, it's like it's like Salt Bae at the World Cup. It's like I don't think.
I would have been super awkward and shit, but I'd be able to say that
you did it.
I did it.
Yeah.
And so, but
the alternative being that like I came up on this blog, and I want to write fucking 20 blogs today,
and so
about the parade or whatever.
And I think it worked out. So it was like summer of OV, swimming in the fountain, all that stuff. And I was on top of it, and I got a raise and a contract out of it.
Yeah.
But I always think back, like, could have partied with the cup.
For sure.
But I think I made the right decision.
It's like. And Barstool like totally appreciates you for doing that, right?
That was no shit. That's the only time I've ever felt appreciated.
When they won the cup,
when
I guess you got your contract.
Because Dave pulled me into his office and he said, "Good job. Here's a contract."
Well, then we said you can go party at the fucking
the next time
with those assholes. No, but it's like you can have bottles at the club with a bunch of assholes on the Caps that you don't even know. Yeah, and maybe you don't get a contract for the next however many years, or you do your job.
I did my job, and I mean. Won't do that.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, and then maybe the next one. But
even that was 5 years ago. We're such a different company now.
Now you'd be crazy to not take that opportunity.
Of course, of course, yeah.
But at that point, I think the right move.
It was that what like I did that a lot.
Which part?
Yeah, John. John had to do it.
You didn't go to any Super Bowls for the first 5.
I mean, for the first one, I was fucking 12. But I think I only missed 2. As a Barstool employee,
I missed.
Like didn't go to Seattle, which was in Arizona, but the Seattle Super Bowl I didn't go to, and then
you were at all those Super Bowls.
Where after Seattle, I think I was.
So that's what.
Can we not count Super Bowls that he's seen? By the way,
2 or 3.
I went to 3.
3.
I won 2.
You went to the game 3 times.
I went to the game 3 times.
Wow.
I went to.
I don't think I realized that.
We beat the Rams. I was there with my dad and my brother. I was with Hank for the other 2. I was with Hank when we lost the Eagles, and I was with Hank when we beat 20-3.
It's crazy that that after the Seahawks, there's 3.
Yeah.
The fact that there's 2 more after the Rams. Like I think of the Rams as like, oh, that was the last one, right? It's like no.
So you Patriots won 6, 5,
6.
So he's won 6 Super Bowls. My life right now is arguing I'd rather have Lamar Jackson than Sam Howell. That's my life right now.
I mean, you're
Getting a
preaching
lot-
to the choir on that one.
Wait, sorry to say. What I was gonna say was when I was, and we we did it with the Bruins. We did it with. I didn't do much Celtic stuff. Did it with the Sox in like 2013, 2018. Those blogging days are incredibly fun.
Yeah.
Because they're so easy. It's just like you just sit there, it's fucking bang.
Yeah.
Those were like,
and it's like that was what we did,
Yeah.
and now you have the best material of all time, and it's fun.
it would start. I remember with the Sox, like it would start in the divisional round because fucking they use champagne everywhere in the MLB.
Yeah.
But it was like those were like you're missing out on the party itself. I remember the Sox won. Forget if it was the World Series or just the AL. But like Napoli was hitting us out, like come out.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ended up going out until like 4 a.m. It was the night because Napoli was texting come out. While he was like shirtless, like Roman Streets Boston. Like, he's texting, come out while he's shirtless, Roman Streets Boston. Like, I was like, I can't.
Stop.
You go into a bar and shut up, and I'll come out.
Put a shirt on, there won't be a story to blog. Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Love those old days.
But like, it is kind of weird. What do you think? Like, if the Caps don't win a title, like what happens? You know what I mean?
my life?
Yeah. But like just in general, having a job that is so tied to outside forces, it's like
I think I'd still be here.
totally. But but I'm not just speaking about you. It's like we know for a fact Barstool wouldn't be Barstool if it wasn't for the Boston sports run.
Correct. Yeah.
And if I'm trying to think of non-sports examples that escape me, but there's definitely been times where like, oh, this was my thing, and now it's in the news, and so now like everyone's gonna be reading my shit and following me for this reason,
Yeah.
And like, but if those things don't happen. You're just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just hope, you just got to hope it does, right? Like,
Yeah, and this is going to be self-deprecating, but I don't have the outside. I don't have a KFC radio. I don't have, something else to lean on.
Right.
It was that. It was that was it.
You gotta just pray that your city has a big story or your teams do whatever, and or you can eat food and tell people how good or bad it is. Have you ever considered that, Nate?
People forget I was the first food reviewer.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Really? What'd
I
you
did I got
Old Bay fries or something?
No, the Taco Bell breakfast menu back in like 2013, and I think like I guess they did like the pizza burrito thing like right before I did that, but it was before people were reviewing food. I left that one on the table.
You could have had a
wait. So they did the big one right before. And
I was going to say the pizza burrito thing was the thing.
Yeah.
That was the one that.
But I was reviewing.
To be fair, I don't know if pizza reviews came. Reviews came with New York.
No. They came.
But it became a thing because he was like, I'm going to go. His thing was like, I'm going to go to every pizza shop in New York, and that's when it became like an app and.
Once like that, obviously,
was One Bite Everyone Knows the Rules a thing in Boston?
Yeah. I don't know if it was a daily thing. I don't know if it was as often as it is now.
Right.
But it definitely started with that, 100%.
Right. But maybe he saw Nate eating Taco Bell.
Yeah.
And was like, ding.
I see that a lot. I'll do something, then like 3 months later, like I'll be called an idiot, then 3 months later, people are like, oh, I guess he was right.
Like what?
Just any opinion I ever have on Twitter. Just
give me an example, though.
God, I wish I came with examples. Yeah. It's just
so do I.
It's just
you're the one who brought it up.
I'm just usually right about everything. I'm just usually very correct.
Okay.
Thanks to Rhoback for sponsoring the show. Rhoback Activewear is, you can't watch a Barstool Sports video without seeing that little doggy in that left-hand corner of someone's shoulder. It is one of the more popular brands around this office, one of the more popular brands around the world. That is because their performance hoodies, joggers, and polos are simply the best. They're the best fit, the best feel, and they're just all around the best. We keep you throwing that B word around because it is earned. You can wear it. I wear it to work out, not to brag, whatever. I'm working on that summer bod right now. Nice little hoodie outside, a little cold, a little crisp, a little jump rope. Your kids getting in shape. They recently restocked their performance joggers, which are incredibly comfortable. That's more loungewear for me. I like to work out in shorts, but a sweatshirt gets the sweat going. Functional, versatile, and comfortable. These joggers check off every box. Perfect for a day on the move or a recovery Sunday. As I said, that's really more my speed. You will never want to take these off. The performance hoodies, as I mentioned, are the most comfortable hoodies out there. They're lightweight, spring quickly approaching. They're perfect. They're literally, you pop on one of those, pop on a jean jacket, you're good, stylish for the spring. Use code Kevin, KEVIN, on Rhoback, RHOBACK.com for 20% off all new customers through the end of this week only. So make sure you get there ASAP. That's spelled RHOBACK, Rhoback.com for 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and polos with the code Kevin.
What do you think of like the food review genre, though? Are you a fan of it?
I don't care. Like it's just it's so
It is. I give Dave a lot of credit, and obviously it's well deserved. With a lot of things he does, because everything in life is sports, and he's been very good at finding and exploiting those things. Going all the way back to the covers.
Everything in life is sports, you said?
I think so, because people are so passionate about the thing they like.
Right.
Where it is like politics or sports.
Meaning like he made pizza into sports. Like you're rooting for a...
Because everyone's like, no, this is the best pizza place. And even going back to the cover of the newspapers, like everyone thought like the hottest girl in their school was the hottest girl in the world.
Local smoke shows was the thing.
That was like,
no, you got to see Jessica.
And everything, like, everything garners such a fan base, so you instantly have an audience built in.
It really is like the rest of the world caught up to sports, honestly, when it comes to like politics and social issues and all that shit. Like sports fans were crazy morons from Jump Street. You know, whether it was probably, back in the day, like this gladiator versus that gladiator. Like but like
Maximus, baby.
We were, being like moronic, blind, crazy fanatics of this thing. And then it was just like, oh, I'm going to do that for my presidential candidate. Or I'm going to do it for my pizza place. Or I'll do it for the girl in my school. It was creepy when we did it for the girls, but whatever.
I still defend...
I do too.
I was honestly talking about this last night. I was out with some people, and we were talking about... They read the paper back in the day, and I was really kind of having this exact conversation. And I was like, I will defend smoke shows. Guess that ass... Probably not. Right. But I will defend smoke shows... till the day I die, because if we were just taking pictures, that's one thing. Girls wanted modeling careers and things like that.
The only thing I'll say
and saying
is, and this always fucked with me, and it definitely does as I got older. When everyone was just like, "What if it was your daughter or your sister?" And I was always like, "I would never want that to happen."
Well, if it was my daughter or my sister, if they were adult women of age,
I know, but I wouldn't like it.
I would be like,
if
I don't know,
if Shay was 18. And was like, I'm an adult making this decision. I'm like, no, you're not. You're a fucking moron, and we're not doing this.
Yeah.
But
they were probably totally. Obviously, there was some 18-5 mixed in, but I think they were usually.
I wish at the time I realized how weird it was. Like, so I get hired. I'm 20.
Well, we were young too.
I was 24.
Young guy.
Right now,
if I was doing it, I would never. I was 25 talking to a 22-year-old, being like, hey, I read this blog.
I was 24.
Want to come to our party? You want to be on the website? It was like.
And
normal.
Dave hires me, and he goes. He told me like two things. He goes, you have to do an MFK every day, and this is old back end. It took like over an hour because it was
any uploading pictures was
it was impossible.
Worst. I never wrote blogs because when I was a reader of Barstool, I never read it. I never opened Smoke Show or blogs. I never opened Wake Ups. I was there for funny. Yeah. So I never cared. And like, I
don't go to Barstool now.
I wish that was like 2 hours into the interview because it just ended on that. Fuck, that was great.
Can we talk about the difference between then and now?
Yes,
I could do that for 3 days.
Yeah, that's why we have you here. Yeah.
But like commenters used to be like, where's the pic? Like, because the story would be about like some famous woman. Like, where's like all the pictures? Like, I don't fucking care. I'm not. Read the goddamn article. I was funny. I made a lot of funny fucking jokes. Read that shit. Right. You want to go look at fucking women? Go look at porn. That was always before I worked here. So I just kept that mindset. I mean, where I was like, I'm here for funny.
There was also like when you were a new blogger, you leaned on those, like smut.
Yep.
And it was fine. It's like I'll write the funny shit while you post Megan Fox.
You gave me the best advice. Like first week, I said because we had to do, as Dave would call it, 15 to 20 a day. It was like 10 a day, 10 to 15 a day, whatever. 8 a day.
It was like every 30.
The number gets higher every.
I remember
you guys did 30, we did 40.
Yeah. It was every 30 minutes, but there were two of us. Yeah. But so like
I tried to do every hour 45 minutes to an hour. But I was like, what do you do if you just can't find time to blog? You said write about football or find a girl and just post pictures of a girl.
I used to make it a point. I wrote a Jets blog every
you
single
told me
day.
that, and I did that.
I would, read an article that's just like Rex Ryan is trying to like reorganize the defensive backs, and I was just like, here you go.
That was
now
also,
I would like never in a million years want to talk about that or write about that, but I always, and to be fair, I'm not known as like a Jets blogger anymore. Like people don't come to me for that topic. But back then it was like I made sure that I was not even like it wasn't even like this article is that interesting. It was like I want people to know I'm an authentic, like I know what I'm talking about. I'm well read on it. I can give my opinions. And then when the day comes when they're good, and lucky for me, 2009 and 10 was like pretty good run. I was like, here we go, But yeah, like football always plays. I don't know about now. Like if you could just write a football sports article, people probably don't care. But chicks in football always played.
The big and the real like crutch, and this is when the tips hotline email whatever was humming. Like there would always be just some picture of the guy on the tee, and you just go caption contest. And then you just post
we haven't done that in forever.
Dude, caption contests were great.
The best. And comments would roll in. And it would probably be one of the most clicked things.
The easy, top fucking. We didn't check metrics back then, but I don't even have the ability to check metrics back then. I
remember having Google.
I know what you're talking about. I can picture it.
What's not AdSense.
No, AdSense was coming to my mind.
It's just Google Analytics.
Yeah. And I remember also doing that with For Sure Not, checking like today we had 400 readers, and I was like, I want to get to 500, and but at the same time, never caring like there was a period of time at Barstool where we said, let's make list blogs, let's do MFK, let's do Smoke Smash. Like we got to get our clicks up.
The BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah, BuzzFeed quiz is which Barstool blogger are you? Yeah. we were like, we got to make money and we got to get clicks. We got.
I got roasted for that because it was like, what's your favorite shoe brand? And I'm like,
Vans?
DC?
Yes.
Wait, you were what?
I said DC. Yeah.
DC, yeah.
And
I say Vans actually.
That's when I realized like.
Osiris?
Like we're all a bunch of like fucking virgin losers, and you guys are
bloggers. We're nerds.
And but like I was like, why are they roasting me? I was like, just because I'm wearing DC
that
shoes.
was a tough like. Up until Barstool, me and my friends were like, me and my friends are nice to each other for the most part. We like bust each other's balls, but it was not like a tough guy routine. Nobody was like looking to be like the alpha, whatever. So I like never cared. I never thought about what people's hair looked like. That's like at Barstool. It's like, are you balding? Are you not? Do you have thick hair? Do you not? Are you fat? Are you not? What do your clothes look like? And so when I realized that, I was like, oh, this kind of sucks. Like now I'm very insecure, and it ruined my life.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah,
it's just like I can't do anything.
I was like, nobody in my real life cared if I could run sprints. Now all of a sudden, because I can't run sprints, people are like, I'm not going to read your blogs anymore. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dave was trying to cultivate a certain media company, which made sense. And I got an email from him. This is very, very, very early, probably first 2 months. And he sent me a link to one of my blogs. And it said something like, this blog is not bro enough. And I was like,
really?
I was like, do you know who I am?
That's actually surprising.
No, it wasn't so it was you guys, Dan.
Right. Well, we were all the same person.
I actually disagree. I was thinking about this recently. How we're obviously are all very comparable, and it's differentiations on a minimal level, but how we are all very different in the sense that like none of us like the same music.
That is true.
Which is very weird. And when you're all just white dudes,
right,
liking different music is like you're the rap guy. Yeah. I was like the pop punk pop. Mm-hmm. Dave's like fucking Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. Dan's rock. Like it was.
We on a granular level, we actually were all very different.
Yeah.
Like, I always thought it was funny. It was like, I'm the New York Irish guy and the Boston Jew should be like reversed. It should be the New York Jew and the Boston Irish guy. And you were the fashion guy, and K Marco was, I don't even know, the music guy and a weirdo. Yeah. And Dan is like the diehard Midwest guy. And it was just like, but on the whole, when you look at it from above, it's like we're all just
someone outside our bubble would be like they're all the same.
Yeah,
but inside. But
until Chaps came, I would say I think Chaps broke the mold on what Barstool was and then became. I
wouldn't disagree with that.
I look at so it was everything was city based, right? Like you could not get hired if you
Didn't have a
lived
city.
in the same city as someone else, no matter how
Right,
good you
that's
were.
true, yeah.
And so it went me in DC, and then it went Trent, Iowa, and he literally was
Still one of my favorite things that it was like New York, Boston, Philadelphia, Iowa.
and the font on the homepage was a different color for each, and his was like a yellow that blended into the white, and you couldn't even read anything. It was awesome. So it went me, Trent. I think Caleb was maybe right before, right after Chaps. But so Chaps was not a city; he was Uncle Chaps, and he started calling everybody handsome on Twitter. He started talking and like just so different than the way we blogged. It was pretty uniform, pretty just every change the team name,
remember,
change this or that. It was talk about a girl, how hot she is. You talk about a sports team, how much you root for them. He was talking about completely different
Fucking
shit,
pumpkins and shit.
and just and I was from there on. You didn't have to need a city. You didn't have to root for sports. It was are you funny? Are you good on camera? You're hired. And I think he completely broke the mold and changed the way like just the company in general, because there was a huge.
I also think that the world was moving that way with social media, where it was like the only way you found people was almost through a website. You know what I mean?
Started
like
your own.
You came to a URL, and then it was like you read the person's name, and it's like, where can I get more of them on this site?
I didn't have a Twitter when I was hired.
I also did not.
Or no, I take that back. I take that back. I did. I had one for like a year. It probably had like 50 followers.
I started my Twitter. I remember setting up my Twitter at my first New York apartment when I was like 21.
I had.
And that was, I would guess 2010, something like that.
I had a for sure not Twitter, and then we started a Barstool Boston and a Barstool New York, and Barstool Boston was just an automated when a blog
went up,
would tweet, and then and so that would just and I just ran Barstool New York, and Barstool Boston was automated because Dave was just dual presidente, and then when it was like clear we were putting all our eggs in the Twitter basket, I just took Barstool Boston. Because it had a fuck ton of followers, because it was just Barstool. It was all Barstool fans. Like I'm a fan of Barstool Boston, so it had I don't know, let's say like 20,000 followers at that point. And I just changed the name to @KFC Barstool and started tweeting. And people were like, and I would be like, "Fuck Tom Brady," and they were like, "How the fuck? I never even followed this guy. How the fuck is this happening?" And I was like, I just like fucking Trojan horse my first 20,000
we have all
followers.
these like dead shows that. We just have Instagrams with going deep with Willie Colon is just sitting there with 150K. I was like, guys, can I get that?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we'll use it for something. I was like,
me
for Eric Nathan.
Yeah.
I only go down in followers across every platform.
Well, I mean, it's a different time. Like, I mean, in the very, very beginning, I think I set up Barstool New York and I bought 5,000 followers right away.
Nice.
For like $50.
Really?
And it was just like,
it gives you
because back then
credibility,
it didn't even fucking matter. It was like, I just got to get on.
I remember that was a thing, like, even internally, where it's like that motherfucker bought followers. And you go to like Twitter.
Are you? Whatever it was. Yeah.
And you're like,
once
I fucking knew it, motherfucker.
Once that like became a thing, I never bought them. But right off the bat, I was just like, yeah, we got to like start this. But also, it was like, I liked that better because it was just like, all right, we're starting a business here, and we need to like have social media, and people will follow it if they see there's already followers. So like, yeah, let's just make this happen. And now it's like we have these unspoken rules and codes. Like, who fucking cares? But I remember
you spend $50 on marketing, losers. This isn't real.
Yeah, it was a big thing in New York because of Incarcerated Bob, because he had like 90% fake.
He has me blocked.
Yeah. I mean, he's
still out there?
I don't know who he is. Yeah, he has me blocked.
He's still out there. He has me blocked. He has a million like
blocked.
other, but he had like 90% fake. And I remember he fucking bought me fake followers.
Yes.
That was the most diabolical thing ever.
Yeah.
But I also was kind of like,
numbers.
Okay.
Now I have an excuse too. Like, fucking incarcerated.
I was like, let's
while
buy
people
some
talk
more.
about it for 2 weeks, I'll be like, incarcerated Bob did it. Everyone forget about it.
I
guess who's got extra 100,000
do
followers?
remember though. It was a like a, I don't want to say checkmate because he didn't like win the battle, but it was a move because I'm like looking at my page and it was going fast. Like it just happens. Like you refresh and 100 more, 200 more, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? And then I like put 2 and 2 together, and I was like, oh shit, because it's gonna look, you know what I mean? Like he did it like the next day, so it was obvious. What he should have done was like played it a little bit, and then just like in 2 weeks been like, look at this guy, he's got fake followers too. But it was like the next day after I called him out, so it was like he's clearly doing this to me. But it was a move. I'm like, yo, this is some grimy shit.
I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about it a lot, but like I'm 34 now, turning 35. It took me way too long to just stop caring about pretty much everything. Like,
it's good advice for all of life.
Like I got Nadu like took a shot at me on the rundown yesterday, and I got a couple texts like, "What are you gonna?" I was like,
"What did he say?"
He just called me like a rat fuck, and he goes, "Better me on the rundown than that rat fuck," and I was like, one, that could be a joke. Like I don't know if he's busting balls or what. I was like, wait, why would I I've been.
Wait, you mean you don't want to do a spoken word rap battle with him on the rundown?
Can we talk about that? We've never talked about that.
No, please.
Let me give a take real quick. Yeah. It's not that bad. We had bars.
We had bars, but the delivery is just.
Well, I mean, we're not rap battlers.
But that's why
if you read the bars, it's like.
Well, that's why I didn't want to do it that way. That's why I make songs. I don't do performances.
I make songs. I make hits, dog.
I'm glad you just said that. I was like, what songs? The one with Dave?
Yeah. Okay. Like, I was like, I want to make, I had a beat picked out and all that. And then you were like, I'm ready to do it right now. I was like, fuck. Because we're going to look stupid.
But it's an all-time moment. It was probably the lowest moments of both of our lives.
For sure.
So back to what I was saying. It's going to be too long not to care about stuff. I just got like... God, this fucking job. Like, I thought when we talk about like a character becomes real life. Yeah. I don't know how it originated, but like I became like the spider monkey or the dog, and then I thought I had to do that for Dave. I thought I had to be his little monkey dance for me puppet, and so I did, and I thought it was like I'm playing a character, but then it like I have to keep up this forever, and it got me into a ton of like. Just not trouble, but like
stress,
I was just a fucking piece of shit to
a lot of people,
to everybody. Yeah. Like, and
here's the thing.
And I would go home and be like, another good day. But it was like, wait, I'm not only like personally affecting these people that I like and work with, and I'd be like, no, we're still friends, right? It's like, no, you're like a fucking asshole, dude. And then. Not to be that guy, I was the original depressed guy at Barstool, too.
Before it was cool to also mention your depression.
Before you could get a job for life for being sad, I was just sad. And so, like, it just like...
I swear to God, Nate is the funniest guy in the company.
And so I'm like really like, first of all, my parents not diagnosing me when I was like 12 and then being like, rub some dirt on it, kid.
They missed the boat on that one.
I think about this. I was like, how did they look at me as adults, like getting like, I'm their third kid and not being like, this kid needs therapy.
He's different than the other two.
Why is he just laying face down on the floor for 12 hours a day? No, I don't want to go to soccer practice. it just never dawned on him. So
why is he just sitting on the floor in the shower humming pop punk?
Welcome
to my life.
I have a vivid memory of doing exactly what you just said. That is so bizarre.
When you're hurt, when you're down, feel like you've been pushed around. When you're on the edge of breaking down and no one understands it.
He has no idea how accurate he is. This is...
No, I'm just saying my life right now.
BetterHelp.com.
Dude, he nailed it the other day. He's like, you either grew up in this world... You're either a rap person or a emo like pop punk person, and it's so true. Because like there was never a day where I was ever like singing angsty lyrics, being like, So I was like, fuck these hoes, like, blast shots in the air.
So I'm like, nobody fuck with me.
Like I'm depressed, like all through middle school, all through high school. Parents do nothing about it. I do nothing about it.
Yada yada. The whole thing.
I got in college. I got a job at the UPS FedEx store on campus, like to make a little money. And that was also the first day that I took an antidepressant, and it like you have to like try different dosages and this and that, and it just
prescribed.
Yeah.
You made it sound like I got to work and they
no.
UPS gave me
open someone's package.
Lexapro.
UPS had a great year. They were just handing it out. So it just like I was like, I'm not doing this fucking job, and so I got fired my first day at the UPS FedEx store.
One day?
Yeah, because I didn't work, and because I was on antidepressants, and it turned me into a zombie. I don't know where I was going. So I've been depressed my whole life, and then so I get this job, and it actually helps things. Obviously, I moved, but then working at Barstool, the most stressful, like those early days working around the clock, no week.
Dude,
Me
so
and
hard.
Trent just used to text on weekends about like, I'm scared to leave the house. Like I'm scared of being fired.
Dave did a really good job of instilling fear.
The most fear.
But like, also, I think he got lucky and found like a crew
Hard.
of guys who like worked
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
and all wanted to like row in the same direction for the most part.
And I will say
like,
that's why I'm shocked that rundown clip that you guys talked about where Dave's like every media company wants to be us and you and Dan kind of laughed at him because I know you believed in it, but I know nobody thought it would get to this part, but none of you thought like maybe there's a chance.
I never did.
I did.
He
See,
did.
I
never
did.
I did not. Again, obviously, never here.
It was very different
But-
for me in New York. New York it's like you're nobody in New York.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I was
True.
just like, this is cool. I mean, in Boston, yeah, it probably felt
That's true.
this
Like
is
the
fucking-
moment I was an intern in Boston, is like out
You're-
in
you're
bars, taking
somebody.
pictures, and I was
Yeah.
like, it was one of those things. Like I remember my dad telling a story of like buying Apple stock because when his buddy like went to go get a charger for his son's fucking iPhone or whatever. Well, I forget what it was, but whatever. And everything was sold out. He's like, I'm gonna buy. I didn't even heard of this, but I'm gonna buy some stock.
Yeah.
And like and so my dad's like financial advice, who's not a financial advisor, was always like, just buy what your kids like because that's what right.
Sure.
And not the most savvy financial advice.
No, but there's logic to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember like even him being like, "You're
People
obsessed
like
with this. Like
yeah.
everyone's obsessed with this.
It's gotta work.
It's got to be something."
Yeah. I just didn't think it could become. Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean,
to
yeah,
finish-
this is a different.
To finish
level.
the depressed story, I get the job, then Dave, I just think I have to play this character as the dog or the spider monkey, and then that became who I was, more or less, and I burned bridges with a ton of people, including you, obviously.
So wait, where are we at? Is it over? It's all over?
Me neither.
I think it's now a feud with me and Nate.
I think
you guys can retire.
Nate, you took a
And
ricochet
now-
shot
yeah.
at Kevin that
That's
he did
it.
not
You're
deserve.
good. I'll carry the
I took
torch.
one at Kevin.
No,
Talk, Nate
No.
screams over me.
No.
You're getting bodied now, Nate.
Yeah.
Nate's. I don't think you read the internet today, but Kevin is back. So he's blogging,
blogging
again. So
That was
be
actually
careful.
cute when I actually was blogging and he wanted to put
this.
up a Lena Dunham blog and he was like, "Oh, I'll give it to you." No, wait, fuck that. They're my page views because that's all you have in life. So
That
I'm
was
gonna start blogging again.
a joke.
And you're
I gave you the
skyrocketing.
Lena Dunham
You're
blog.
skyrocketing. We'll see if that continues.
Okay.
I couldn't be happier about this entire
Kevin, you
turn of
are
events.
The moral high ground in this office. Go ahead.
Come on, Nate.
Moral high ground for sure not. Professionally speaking, you are absolutely nobody. Your whole shtick of where you like white knight for us and defend us, nobody fucking wants you to do it. You are insufferable. Nobody personally likes you. You're a spider monkey. That's what we call you because all you do
Talking loud
is spider
makes you
monkey
right.
around. That's it.
Talking loud
All you
makes
have,
you right.
all you have are your page views, which aren't even that good to begin with, dude.
It's pretty good.
So keep making enemies. You made one of me now. It's fine. See if the skyrocketing continues.
Okay, Kevin. Which, by the way, I thought in that moment you were gonna be like, this guy's gone. I thought you were just gonna like use your pool and fire me.
I never had that.
I don't know if you remember.
I never could have that.
Also,
I could
that's
never
another
get
thing.
that done.
You've always had more pool than you've given yourself credit
you
for.
calling it
You're saying pool.
I can't say the words. I say it. I can't say it. That's another thing with you. The whole fairy. I say it all the same.
I know,
That was like an
you're weird.
early.
You say
burst.
pull pool? I've never
I
heard
just,
that before.
So I also grew up with a speech impediment. Thanks for bringing that up.
I know. I've talked to you before.
Grew up with, aka are living with, currently have.
You grew up with depression and a speech impediment.
Dude,
Guess what? They both stuck around, buddy.
They would pull me out of PE class or PE or whatever.
I never had pull like that.
And
I never
so
had
they
pull
would
that I
take
could
me
be
out
like,
of class
fire this
to
guy,
go
dude.
to the speech person in school, and they'd be like, "Where were you?" I'd be like, "Oh, I had to go lay down in the nurse's office because I was so embarrassed of my speech impediment. I don't care anymore." But anyway, so I burned all those bridges. I thought you were gonna get me fired. I sent a text to John. Me and John had no relationship. I was like, "Please don't hate me." And John's like, "I don't care." and,
So what are you talking about?
and so kind of stayed like a piece of shit for a while. And then it's just like a few things happened to make me turn. Like I had a relationship that I totally torpedoed because I was always on my phone. I was scared of being fired. I was terribly depressed. I was a piece of shit, spider monkey, asshole, all of it combined at once. Not mental breakdown, but more or less.
Sure,
I was like,
no,
I
yeah.
need to figure this out. 3 people helped me turn a page and become a much better person. One is my brother, who always, he's like just fun as hell guy, more friends than anybody I've ever met. Like at his wedding, he had friends from like preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, college. People who makes friends after college.
Yeah.
This guy does. Like more friends than anybody I've ever met, and just always ride or die guy, down to do anything. So fun, and he was always like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, why are you just so like angry all the time? Like, what is your deal? And I was like,
mom and dad didn't take me to a therapist.
No, like, yeah, because mom and
depressed.
They were too busy at your fucking award ceremonies. Pay attention to me.
You, dude, he did get like a 4.0 and all that shit. Super smart guy, and I could just go to school and just get like B's and C's. Like, who cares? Like, I knew from very early age school didn't matter, and like that teacher's just like all of it was. There's this teacher, Mr. Matters, and he was the worst human being I've ever met. He fucked with like we were 10th grade. He just fucked with children all the time, and like made us like hate life. He was the worst human being. I have no idea how he was allowed to educate.
He molest you?
No.
10th grade's too old to get molested.
No. He was just really
10th grade, you're just fucking.
a really mean teacher. Just a really mean
How old's
guy.
10th grade? Can I say that? Was that sophomore?
You fucked. Must be nice.
Grade's like 15. Which is fucking.
So one's my brother. Two is Mark Rhoback. And he is. I hate when people say, "Oh, nicest guy I've ever met," because you're wrong. Yeah. Mark Rhoback is the nicest person you will ever meet.
Awesome,
he has sold out MSG multiple times, and he is the most genuinely kind.
And would still like right now like cancel his plans to go to dinner with us or some shit. You know, like
he's
puts us in music videos, comes on stage.
I was at Team Impact, the charity I worked with last night, and
he loves saying I do one charity thing a year and talks about it the rest of the fucking year. Go on,
you're not the dog anymore. I don't jump down people's throats.
He emailed because he works with them too now, and
he does.
He emailed.
I mean, he's the nicest guy.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. And he emailed in the middle of the event, and like there were like 8 people there who were on the email, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Mark just emailed us." Everyone just started going crazy. Like, I can't believe we're at this thing right now where MSG Mark Rhoback just emailed us.
He's always like, "Thank you guys for coming to like a concert," you know? Like, thanks for having us. Dude. What are you talking about? Thanks for coming.
When I saw in person the way he like stuff like that, how graceful he was and how thankful he was, and it's just like,
bro, when he came in and played music and let you spider monkey around him and like touch him,
we had never met before.
He was just cool with that. I was like, this guy is almost too cool.
We had never met before that night, and he was just down to do it, and he's just. I never thought we would like see him again. Yeah, you know, it was just like, and then he's just like the absolute nicest human. And I saw the way he treated people, and I was like, I need to do that. I need people to say, I enjoyed meeting Eric.
For sure.
He was a pleasure to be around. And then third is John Feidelberg.
Whoa.
I think I've told you this drunkenly. Maybe not.
I don't know.
You were probably more drunk than I was, so wouldn't remember. I was lost in New York, home alone. I was just completely lost. I didn't. Yeah, you like that? I didn't.
I was lost in New York, home alone.
Drake.
I think Drake said that in 06.
There's some Macaulay Culkin Drake joke to go there, but I don't know.
If we were better rappers, we would have had it.
It's going. How does Jerome do it on the spot? It's so sick. I didn't really have friends. I was just like, I didn't know. This job was just like, I don't know. What am I just type dumbass jokes all day on the computer? I had no idea what I was doing. You know, this was maybe pre-making minimum wage
also,
like at Barstool.
New York was tough for people because it's like, you know, you're not in your home anymore. Dude, you're not with your family. You're not with your friends. Fucking, go live in another city.
I've apologized to people for like HQ2 shit where it was like so cutthroat, and I looked at it kind of like, I think we all did, but like eat or be eaten, like step on people's throats to elevate yourself.
It's good that you apologize, but like I don't think it's necessarily you even have to, because it was like, first of all, it's work.
But you should still treat people with like
yes, but I think you walk in those doors and it's like stepping between the lines of sports.
I only looked at it like wrestling. That's why when I would go home, I'd be like, yeah, no, we're still cool. But no, like you were.
But also the people who have like too much of a problem.
But I also wanted to play both sides also.
And
people
I knew love to do that. Yeah. It's all a joke. I mean,
so it's a joke. What the fuck did you say about me?
Yeah. I mean, anybody who's ever had a relationship at Barstool has played it's a character. Huh?
Yeah.
And then I would go and do like an interview and be like, no, I'm not a character. I'm my exact same self.
But
I'm actually my best self. Right? Like this is.
I'm saying exactly what I want to be.
But like I just started hanging out with John, going to bars. Like
it's a great hang.
And it's just like great hang. It's just like.
He's an all-time great hang.
Yeah, and it's just like I can't look at you. It's so gay. And it was just like it was just.
Don't look at me either. This is super gay.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. He just kind of like I didn't really like I would hang out with like Riggs here, like someone else there, but like
he's the best.
It was just like
why do you think I hitched my wagon to him? He's the best.
Yeah,
I've known this since day
one. It was just like it was almost like, oh, he's down to like just drink or sit at a bar quietly and stare at a TV, and it was like that's exactly what I needed.
Judgmental person you'll ever.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why he's the best.
I'm not gonna say saved me, but like it definitely helped ground me. Plus, God, this is so gay. Like you and Mark are similar, and you treat people nicely. Like you're just. Down
I mean, are you gonna suck his dick or what? Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
No,
are we done?
Yeah, I'll be done there. But no, like so, the three of them combined.
Well, here's what I realized. I remember when the combine happened. I was like,
original combine.
Yeah. Like
that really did a number on you.
I was laughing about it at first, but then. Like, I thought it was funny.
And this is... sorry, no, you go first.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, probably until like 2 years ago, I didn't even know there was anything about it. You maybe longer than 2 years ago. But whenever you first mentioned it, I had no idea there was ever any backlash. I never knew whether like it affected you.
Yeah.
Because like that's part of the internet too, where it's like you think. And maybe
your
more.
Experience
oh my
on the
God,
internet is so bad.
Like, I never saw that. I never looked at your replies. I never looked at your comments.
That's the thing. You have your own timeline. You have your own mentions.
Yeah.
You have your own inbox, whatever. And if you don't like look at others, you're like, yeah, I didn't even know that.
I had literally no
But that's
idea.
also a good lesson to like not freak out about your shit because it's like nobody else fucking knows.
Yeah.
But at that point, like, so when it first came out, I was kind of like, I almost was like, I thought it was a good thing because I was like. I think the combine, that video kind of would have sucked if it wasn't for me. Like those two guys just doing like okay,
but you're right.
And it was like funny, like, but I was the butt of the joke. But I was like whatever. But then I got like a flood of people being like, this guy talks about sports and like all that shit. And I remember calling Dave and being like, yo man, I don't like this is bordering on like laughing at, not laughing with. Like I don't know. And he was like, he goes like, I will never put you in a position that I think is like bad for your.
Right.
For you. Like, I'll always like
anybody can be a star.
Born into the star. And at that point I was like, okay, cool. Like I trust you. You know this internet well. Like I'll ride it out, whatever. And then and it was not like the combine like ruined my career, obviously by any means. But it went south enough that I was like, and he was just laughing the whole time that I was just like, oh no. It's every dog for himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why I stopped.
So I don't blame anybody who's like a little bit like, you're
I'm
backed into a corner.
I'm gonna say our era, just like not new Barstool, but like anything I tried, because I wanted to try everything. I wanted to do podcast, video, whatever.
Yeah.
Anything I did, it was Dave making fun of me and laughing and saying I sucked, and then his swarm just saying how bad it crushed me to the point I stopped trying. Like it was I'm not going to subject, because I'm already mentally weak as it is, and miss me with don't let it affect you. When you have 10,000 people telling you suck, you begin to tell yourself that you suck.
And also it's like one attaboy can erase like so many of that, and when you never get any of them, they all pile up.
Someone like Mincy, who just like he just takes it like in the movie 300, like arrows flying, and he just takes it.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't know.
He probably probably thinks it's real arrows. But I think he does such a good job of just he continues to do it, and he takes it, and he goes, I know they're laughing at me, but like this is an awesome job that I love so much.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like you got to have a little bit of perspective on like, well, all right, this part sucks, but the alternative is what, Yeah.
And at 24, 25 years old, I was very immature, and I was very mentally weak, and I could not handle it, like, whatsoever.
But, bro, like, nobody at, like, 24, 25 is, like, nobody can.
I think Robbie Fox can. He's so good.
I mean, but, Bob has openly talked about his problems, nobody can do it with ease.
I didn't mean to, like, dismiss that.
There is no, no experience like it.
No.
Like there is not the only people who can relate to this experience are other Barstool people. And I know a lot of people are always like, oh, Barstool like sucks Barstool's dick, or Barstool loves talking about Barstool. But it's like there's nobody else like you can. I remember talking to like Craig Carton. I remember talking to Mark Rhoback, people in other industries, and like, oh, this is when I struggled in my industry, or this is when I had a hard time in what I do. And it's all, you can take bits and pieces, but like the internet's its own animal.
Dude,
how many people have come through Barstool and been like, oh, I have like a lot of followers, I can handle it. And it's like, okay, babe, we'll see about that. Or, oh, I've done this kind of stuff before, I can handle it. And,
you know what almost broke me was, or I guess it did break me, the me and Smitty stuff. Where, I mean, I was on the wrong side. I was wrong.
What was your character's name?
Donovan McNate?
No. The housekeeper in Vegas or whatever. You had the
Gladys?
The robe?
Yeah, there was
Glenda.
You were Glenda.
But the me and Smitty stuff, I don't know. One day I just randomly went at him, and for no real reason.
You like to eat? I like to eat. I'm a big fan of eating. You like to eat easy? Make it quick? Well, welcome to Factor. Factor is power up for the springtime with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. I just had some of these at home. They're so easy, like literally so easy. When you're starving, whether you're ordering or cooking, sometimes that takes a little bit of time. I like the process of cooking. I also sometimes like to just be able to eat immediately. Factor sends you ready-to-eat meals that you pop in the microwave. They're nutritious, chef-prepared. They're delivered straight to your door, leaving you time and energy to tackle everything on your to-do list. With Factor, you can skip the trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, the prepping, the cleaning up too. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat and enjoy. It really is so easy. I had pastas, I had everything. It was fucking really, really good. Delicious, flavor-packed meals to help you live life to the fullest. You can choose keto, vegan and veggie, calorie smart, or protein plus options on the menu each week. With 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options, there's always something new to try. Enjoy meals for any time of the day with breakfast options like egg bites, smoothies, and more. Get Factor and enjoy the smooth. Honestly, the smoothies are so good. I got a 6-pack of smoothies. I think I whacked them all in a day. Absolutely delicious. Get Factor and enjoy clean eating without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door. Again, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/KFC50 and use code KFC50 to get 50% off your first box. That's code KFC50 at factormeals.com/KFC50. You get 50% off your first box. That's basically free. Try it. I guarantee you like it.
And because I thought it was my job. Like,
Right.
and then, I mean, he was like, what the fuck? Fuck this kid. And I dealt with that backlash for probably like 2 years to the point where if the question is, have you almost quit Barstool ever? One time, it got so bad for me where I told him.
What got bad? People saying like, why are you going at
No,
Smitty?
like just like, because he had no reason to take that shit from me. And like, he has a good amount of Philly fans, and they were like, it was about a year or so in, and Smitty was still just like at my throat.
Yeah.
And when we always say, like, when you see Barstool drama, it's like, dude, nobody cares. Like, it's not a big deal. It's funny. Everybody's laughing. When you're in it, it feels like the world is caving in around you.
For sure.
And I was at my wit's end, and I told him, I was like, you've won. Like, I'm going to quit. Like, I cannot take this anymore.
I remember you guys had like a
and he was like,
detente or whatever.
He was like, all right, I'll rein in the dogs.
Yeah.
and we're great now. I mean,
He's like
one of what's weird is like Smitty's like one of my best friends now.
Really?
Like,
well, he went through it too.
We see the world very similarly, and like he's like a family man with kids now, and so like he's obviously settled down, and like we just get along great.
I mean, if you stuck around long enough, like you either you're like Dan or Dave and you made it, and you kind of come to like terms with it. You're like at peace with it. You know what I mean? It's just like
it's kind of like
wild ride,
dude. It was looking back
it's like being like a band almost, where it's just like
I was gonna say like a child
crazy
star, where like you're gonna go crazy, for a little bit, and hopefully you come on the other side and like, oh, he's a good dude,
right?
Like,
and
he's been through some shit.
Seriously, and I think like
when Dave did the draft in Chicago, he drafted me versus Smitty 1-1 for like best feud or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
It was just
like that was the thing. Like you also have to
I mean, you
realize
guys had fake personalities to kill each other on the website.
crazy.
You guys were.
that's
There's
what, you know what?
clickbait Smitty, Donovan
so that was that's what I couldn't. It
I
was,
still don't know what's real and what's
Yeah,
not.
dude,
Like, I don't know who Clickbait Smitty is. I don't know what like.
no, it's him. What do you mean you don't know who it is?
I was pretty sure, but he never broke like kayfabe. He's like,
No, he tweeted from the wrong account a couple times, which is
he?
pretty
Yeah,
funny.
okay.
I actually don't even follow clickbait.
No,
Smitty.
it was
mean,
me either.
Then I'll tell you what. Then I'll tell you what. His blogging as Clickbait Smiths was always better than. Well, I like that more.
Dude,
that shit was funny.
Dude, I said that. I was like, oh, I guess I got you to work.
Yeah, we're gonna just drum it all up.
No,
again.
we've had that conversation before. It's funny, but that is like HQ2 peak Barstool
Well, this is the
crazy
thing.
feuds. And that was real. Like, talk about Barstool
Very real.
scripted. That was as real
was
as
real,
it gets.
But it was also when you think about Dave. Dave said just recently, I think when we interviewed him, he was like, my role in the office, like. I think we were talking about can the office survive without him? Can Barstool survive without him? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yes, it can survive without me, but it won't be the same, yada, yada, yada. And then he said something to the effect of, my role at the office was to make everybody scared.
Yeah.
And while that is his personality and he was just doing that naturally, I think he very much was like, I'm trying to build a fucking massive media conglomerate, and it is very good for business if there are these two wacky dudes who have these very unique personalities who are going to have a real feud, and I'm going to stoke that fire. Yeah, part of it is genuine. I think he was like, yeah, let's do it. And part of it, even, who knows if it's where the lines get blurred. But he was always like...
Think about
like he was like the best thing for you guys is this feud. You're going to get the most clicks and all that shit. And like, yeah, it's a first overall vote for a reason.
I mean,
you know?
we always say, like, we're a reality show when it comes down to it, and we needed that era to get where we are now, because you can't just hire people with zero personalities and become what we are. It's just impossible.
And even if it's all like kumbaya, like I want this next generation to be all everyone's happy and not scared and shit, but it probably won't be as popular or successful because drama and fighting is the reality shows where everyone's happy, nobody fucking
there's going back to like Nadu on the rundown, there's no point of replying. Like, I don't gain anything. There's no benefit to do. There was a ton of benefit to doing that before. Gaining when Dave was in the mix,
spotlight,
and you were the star of the reality show, and you were the star. You were main eventing, WrestleMania when your feud led the rundown.
Right,
or whatever.
You might be a heel, you might be a face, but you are getting the big matches.
The real life implications. Terrible. Terrible. Especially going back, nobody knew it was real or fake internally. No. When you're in the feud, you don't even know if it's real.
And your family doesn't know.
But it is real. Like, the feelings are real, but like it's such a mind fuck. In the gray areas and stuff, but the me and Smitty stuff was as real as it gets.
Well, I was doing that shit with Dave.
Yeah.
I was always like, man, like, he said some mean shit on the rundown, like maybe we're not friends. And then it was like, oh, we're not friends. But then and it's like, okay, this is, it is what it is. Like,
you guys are cooler now. Like, it's like
I'm probably
you crossed because you crossed the finish line.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a part of that. I mean,
we'll get there.
There was a huge. I definitely, like, still to this day feel a chip on my shoulder about, like, I was not involved in the Penn deal, and like I wasn't with Chernin, and then not only was I not involved, like I didn't even know I had gotten cut out of it. I didn't even know it was happening,
Yeah.
So
I'd be bitter.
Like waiting, and I knew they got paid right away, and I was like, well, so everybody was happy at Barstool. They got their money. Everyone else, like all the other employees, are happy because it's like big buyout and like we're gonna, go places or whatever. But I was like the only person who was kind of like, I mean, I know this is ultimately a good thing, but right now it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So those, like, that 5-year period of like, well, I'm not rich and they are, and I got cut out of this and blah, blah, blah. But then when I finally got there, I'm like, okay, whatever. Just let it die.
All that work was for something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess it was worth it.
No,
that's where we're at in life.
Employee 9, not so much, but Erica gave out those T-shirts with the numbers. I was like, Employee 9, that's crazy, single digits, huge sale, 600 million. I was like, all right, back to work.
The guy who painted the front door at Facebook retired.
Yeah. You should have just painted a mural on the wall of Barstool. You should have hopped on the NFTs with the spider monkey picture.
I have a tweet. It's the saddest tweet, and it's Dave wrote a blog in 2016. It was like, what I know, he quote tweeted it when the sale happened. He goes, I know I'm gonna get rich from sports betting. I just don't know how yet. This is 2016 or whatever. I replied under it. I hope I have.
He wrote that in 2006.
No, it was a newer one then. Whatever. Because
I remember it because it was in the middle.
I worked for the company, and I replied to it. I go, I hope I have equity by then. Oops.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Everything happens for a reason.
Now you're the editor-in-chief, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to read Greenie blogs all day. What a privilege.
What? This is. I don't even think we've ever talked about this. Honestly, what does that entail?
Yeah, the day-to-day.
Let me say this: the blog is still important, and it still gets
the blog makes a lot
tens of millions of people go to. We have an app called Barstool Sports, and it's just the blog. It's a pretty big app, and so a lot of people go to it.
But I think we're the last website and app that is just everyone else just goes to social media. We're
we are.
Everyone has a website.
And I wish people looked at it. That's why I get mad when people tweet all day. It's if people could look, people should look at the blog.
I almost have to apologize to you because I know you're good about it. You're always hey, that thing you said is cool or great story or this thing happened to you, maybe write a blog about it.
All I can do is encourage. I do not have.
I was gonna say, what is your power with
you know what?
Can you make someone do stuff?
Should, because you come to me and I know you try to encourage, and it's just so hard. I don't know. It's maybe I'm all blogged out. I don't know.
I think there is a part of it.
It takes a fucking a seismic shift for me to sit down and write a blog now. Yeah. But the people who are younger and my age when I was blogging who don't, fuck them.
Yeah.
Because it's such. I mean, we built our characters and our personas and everything doing that.
Francis crushes. He understands it so well.
It's here is a homepage of millions of people. And nobody uses it.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine just reading your stupid, illiterate, bad grammar to 5 football stadiums.
Right.
It's just
Put it that way. 5 fucking football stadiums reading your shit. And people are maybe I'll write a blog this month. You know how many people work for newspapers and shit that would literally suck somebody's dick for that audience?
And that salary.
Right. And
I think
there
is
also the thing is, you don't have to because you don't get fired. You can just sit here and collect the check,
there's zero accountability. Yeah.
I don't want to start calling for people's heads.
No, me neither.
But
that's part of the not caring thing. It's I don't care what other people do with their job. All I can do is say there is a blog here for you to say whatever you want to a million people won't read a blog, but millions of people go to the app or the website every single month. Yeah. And you have the opportunity to put your podcast, your videos, your humor, your voice, your merch, your face in front of that many people.
And people just
you say, nah.
You know what we need to do?
A blog. Okay, let's say a podcast, a smaller podcast at Barstool. I don't know the numbers. I'm just going to say one. Let's say 30,000 people will listen to an episode. If you have a good headline and it's tweeted from the main account on Twitter, which has 4 million followers, and it's put on Facebook to however many people follow the Facebook, you're getting quadruple the number.
But no one's listening to it. That's at least what we were told one day. They were like, don't bother with that because this is back in the day. I don't even know.
No one will listen to that.
No, it does. Someone will click the podcast, but no one. It will drive. I believe it will drive literally zero.
But the thing is, why does McDonald's keep advertising to keep your eyeballs on their logo? If you have your face on the blog and your podcast on the blog,
those people are doing so little that even if the click-through is 0, fucking do it anyway.
Yeah. And the thing is,
we got to a point where it's we're busier, we're doing other things, or we've earned the right to say yes or no. But these other people, it's I think there is.
I do want to do because we've gotten pretty good at we get our Fridays are lighter. And I do want to. I wanted to start this last year.
I know it's our best straight. But I always want to blog. But
I tried to do it last year and I kind of just fell off. I want to do something new on Fridays. And then blog about it on Monday. Just something.
Go do something.
I did it with I got chakras aligned. There's little things I've wanted to do and be I don't know, something weird might happen. This is something I've never done, and I fell off it. I do want to put it out there that I would like to do it more this year. But also there is a part of me that is like, we have this audience that likes us. Like, we don't have a Howard Stern show where people are like, I listen because I hate listen.
Yeah.
Like, people like us, and kind of what we were talking about, where like feedback is very largely just good now. And like,
I love that for you guys.
My like social media and everything, like, it's largely just like fun stuff. Sometimes people are motherfuckers to like an individual tweet.
No,
but
you have
like,
very funny replies.
largely it's just like good. And part of me just doesn't want to
rock the boat.
open it up and be like fuck you, I fucking hate you. Like, I don't know, man, things are good.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
Don't rock, but you're entitled to do that. The people who are like just sitting around not doing anything and they don't really have good feedback on anything else or any feedback.
So,
you know, honestly,
it is tricky though, and you'll say we should have a quota. Absolutely not, because then
just
you
turn out garbage.
So
what
and
you
I
need
won't
to
put
do-
it up, and then I'll be
Yeah.
Guess what? Okay, so my job is to people submit
Stop
blogs
Dante from putting up blogs.
about George Floyd. Yeah,
You don't need a quota. What you need, like a lot of companies, like finance companies and shit, if you are a bottom 10% performer, you just get fired. And it's just a black and white way to do it. I think 10% is too high of a number. But if you made it like so low, if you are a bottom 3% performer, it's almost like you deserve to be fired because you are literally the bottom like 4 or 5 people at the company.
we're doing a great job not saying names. We're doing such a.
But then those people,
fuck you, Pat, on my bad.
then those people, if you're like, okay, I need to make sure I'm not in the bottom 5%. You will do enough to probably be in the top 15%. You know, you're not going to just make it. And then,
do you know how
the
easy
few people, like, there's going to be a couple people who
so
get
easy.
fired. You know,
Marty Mush is a top 10 blogger every week. He cannot put together a sentence. He spelled Floyd Mayweather's first and last name wrong today. And that is a top 10 blogger at a $1 billion company, Barstool Sports. So I mean, we work with him a little bit because he's a genius. In this way, he goes, I just take whatever's popular on TikTok and I put it on the blog, and I know people like it because it's the top of my TikTok. I go, you're a genius.
you don't even need to like write, a novel. Just like put some comments in there and you're good to go.
Yeah.
The people that don't do that are fucking
It's
stupid.
also funny, like every meeting for the last 5 years, we've heard 2 things. One, anybody can be a star. Look at the painting. Anybody can be a star.
As much as you put out, you get in.
Yeah.
All right,
And then everybody texts me. He said the line.
I might get that tattooed on my body with the quote.
I'm gonna get the reverse. It's just going back into the Dave shoveling my water out of the star. Like, absolutely not.
You shoveling,
Dude,
Dave's just taking it and putting it in his pocket.
Yeah.
Star.
Oh, you want?
Dave's just below it, getting bigger and bigger.
You're gonna try something new? Not on my watch.
I do always say that I was very lucky with when I started here, like being the intern. Like, if I'd gotten that internship with Dave, I do not think I'm here.
You wouldn't have put up with it. You'd just been like,
no. I don't think I'm sitting here. Like, like you were good. Like, Dave would have been Dave and bashed me and beat me down. Whereas when I got the internship with you, you were like, right. Like, I think I wrote.
I think
like,
most people are here.
You probably wouldn't have been published or written a lot of shit.
Never in a million
Like,
years.
He would have just, like, I give credit to Devlin for, like, he continued to push through and do more stuff because he was just doing the link swap and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I was like,
He went to a rival company for a hot minute and then came back.
Yeah.
Hot minute.
But like,
he's like in their Getty
but that's
photo
where
on the back end.
I
Very funny.
do understand. Like, I think I was able to be a little more positive because it was like a little bit of like good cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? There was like,
Positive Kevin is what they call it.
But that's what's so funny. Like, I'm so negative in my work and like my content. But I think behind the scenes, I was always the one being like, no, go,
Yeah.
try,
Yeah.
you know. And then there was Dave to be like, no, you fucking pussies. And hopefully you find a balance, you know.
The Nate at Night thing when I did the face, because Mark Content Cone told us, like, we're now a Facebook company, and that's how every other company went out of business.
Yep.
Was because
Boy, that guy.
Facebook lied about views and all that.
We
They fired all their writers.
Dude,
Yeah.
every
We were going
other
video and the
company.
Facebook was like, by the way, you got 7 views.
Yeah.
Like we added a couple zeros, but like no one actually
that
saw that.
That happened with 1 Minute Man too, because the original ones were on Facebook, and I was like, I am rich, I am the god, and then they like changed everything, and it was like 13,000 views. I was like, well, I'm never doing this again. So I had the thing to fall back on.
Content Cone pushed everybody to do Facebook, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna be on the forefront of this. Made Nate at night, and all Dave did was go live on Periscope while he did it, and said how shitty everything is and all that. I was like, then what's the point, dude? So the two things at the meetings: one, anybody can be a star, and two, tweeting makes this company $0.
Yeah.
And they have said both of those things at every meeting, and all I can do is encourage people to, hey, if you want to tweet for 3 hours about something, type those tweets into a blog,
put them on
and
the
it'll
blog.
go up. Yeah. And there's some disconnect where I just cannot get people.
Have you ever thought about like a little bit of ghostwriting?
What do you mean for other people? I do all the time. Like I write for
like if
you ghostwrite?
I write for Dave.
You write Dave's blogs?
Not
like I'm sure like promo blogs. No,
I will if Dave's tweeting about something. Okay, the last one I did that comes to mind is when the playoff game. What was that really exciting one? I was riding my exercise bike and they came back Jacksonville, and it was the most boring broadcast ever. Like they were snoozing on the job, and Dave was tweeting nonstop and making videos nonstop. So I'll send Dave a text like, "Can I put these into a blog?" And he'll say yes, and then I'll just put a few sentences.
Dude, that motherfucker will always be like, "Look at me, I'm one of the top bloggers." Yeah. It's like you have a team of people writing under your name, dude. But so like, would you ever think about?
Brother, if I'm writing, it's as me. Like,
yeah, but yes, I do get that. But like, and you would have to like, if I were you, I would like have this in my contract that like, you get, you would benefit from this.
I negotiated a bonus out of my contract. Not a joke.
Right now, I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you in a second.
Like the Mean Girls pop off every time now on their social clips. Mm-hmm. If you were to just like listen to their clip and almost transcribe it and add a little bit to it, editorialize a little bit, it basically sounds like Jordan and Alex, publish it under their name, and like then.
I mean, you could just do the reverse too, though, right? Or take whatever your opinion is and be like, the Mean Girls are dumb because blank.
Yeah,
totally. Like what we do.
We have to get back to doing that. There was a time we employed someone to transcribe big interviews with different guests, and then we would send it to whoever we thought would blog it because it happened because we were just blogging Joe Rogan podcast every single day because he's the biggest needle mover, and so like Pat would blog every single Joe Rogan interview, and I was like, why don't we blog our own interviews? Mm-hmm. So we would transcribe the big interviews with guests and then send it to whoever, and we just stopped doing that because we don't promote our own stuff.
I'm desperately going to try to change that.
Yeah, but
wait, how'd you negotiate a bonus out of your own contract?
I didn't really understand this bonus structure that was put into my contract, so I went into Erica and I was like, I'm kind of like confused, like what does this mean? She's like, we'll just take it out. I go, okay.
and then you realized that you would have hit like and made money?
It wasn't like a ton of money. It was just there was some weird like chart, and it was like this dollar, this amount of this and that, and I was like, Erica, I'm kind of like confused by this section. And she goes, instead of explaining it, she goes, we'll just take it out.
You're like, word. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I like this is when like Coley.
They're so lucky. We're so dumb.
Dude, I know.
Oh my god.
That could go back 15 years.
I always say they got so lucky that they did get a good group of guys, hardworking, talented, funny, but dumb and loyal to an absolute fault. Dumb.
So this is when Coley named me like co-editor in chief. And I was like hyping myself up, like, because I watch all of Token. It's like never take the first offer, like negotiate this and that. I'm like hyping myself. I'm gonna ask for this. I'm gonna ask for this. I'm gonna ask for this. Erica's like coming to my office. I was like, give me a pen. Negotiated absolutely not.
It is so hard to put into practice.
When I've told this story a million times, but the first time I ever had an agent and they called me and they're like, what's the lowest you'll take? And I said about half of what I make now. And they're like, and they go, well, we're not going to go in with that. So
I often think about how many conversations. The only time I ever started to grow a backbone was I started to think, I bet that they've had conversations where they go like, thank God Clancy is a fucking pushover. You know, well, we know that we're going to lock him up for cheap. You know, like, it's like the Braves right now signing all these guys, like everyone reacting, like what the fuck are these? I bet everybody at like Barstool and Chernin were like, I mean, they did, to be fair, they said it about Dave. Dave sold Barstool for $12.5 million. It was like, Dave, Portnoy, and they were like, cool, we own you. You are never negotiating anything ever again. Like, we are, you are not the one, you know?
You've talked candidly that looking back, you're like, I was so loyal. I just assumed everything would work out. I wish I got an agent earlier. Like, you got to look out for yourself at some point.
I just said it on Oops. The two things I wish I did. I wish I was a little less self-deprecating. Like, I always made fun of myself, and that's my sense of humor. But I wish there were times that I was like, no, wait a minute. Like, fuck that, you know? Like, I can make fun of me. You can't make fun of me. Because if you make fun of yourself, everybody else does, too.
I think about that, too. It's like, should I just, like, you know, I never talk about my personal life that much. Like, people I've dated, relationships,
well, this and that.
No, but that aside, it's like, should I just, like, stand up for myself more?
Yes. Yeah, you should. So, like, don't be as self-deprecating, stand up for yourself, and absolutely get an agent and have representation and all that shit, because it's just, like, it's just you have to look out for yourself. In the beginning, it was like
my agent.
We're a
so you only go down in followers, and you want an agent? Like, all right.
But like, there's somebody who will, you know.
I don't need an agent. I'm so untalented.
That's not true. This is one of the funniest podcasts we've had in a long time, and I was actually just about to say that you are one of the people who knows, like you have all the inside info because you've been here that long. So
you're my source for the juicy goss. You would tell the geeks.
The hot goss. So why don't we do this? Why don't we do, because every Monday we try to have somebody from Barstool.
By the way, this has been a dream of mine for like 2 years.
Why don't we do every one Monday a month? It's hot goss with juicy goss with Nate Dogg.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Because you have all the stories
Power
and all
Rankings
the info
radio,
and all that shit. So
had to stop doing Power Rankings. Too many feelings got hurt there.
So let's do Power Rankings on KFC Radio with the Nate Dogg.
But the thing is, like, you know how like we haven't said unnamed this whole time?
Yeah.
Because what's the point? It would just call us World War III. See, I can't say that. World War III.
That's hard to be.
That's a tough one.
World War III. I don't know, I feel like I nailed it.
I hate him. Without Dave.
Take back everything I said about you.
I'm not going to suck anymore. No, shit. Oh, second Mike Nate over here.
You got one Monday a month. How about that?
Let's not overkill it. People get very sick of me very quick.
One Monday a quarter for a year.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
And then if it goes well, we'll up it. But you got to come with some juicy goss.
I will.
You got to drop some bombs. And how about one name an episode?
One name an episode.
On some story. You know, you just got to come up with some story. Deal?
Deal. I love it.
Let's go. Everybody go read the blog because it is still funny. Everybody should read the blog. But also follow. Are you Barstool Nate or Nate Barstool? Barstool Nate.
I'm Barstool Nate. I might change it. I might just become
Eric Nathan.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Take my life back.
Don't do that.
Like
have a semblance of autonomy one time for the first time in a
you're
decade.
saying autism. I was like, who do you think you're talking to?
There's plenty of semblances of that. Don't worry, you got a lot of that. Now stay Barstool Nate. You're the dog, man. You'll forever be the dog. That was great, Nate.
Are we done?
Yeah. I gotta go.
All right. Dude, Nick, you wrote that script to perfection.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.